Rise and shine, Rwanda. It's Friday, the 20th of November.
Welcome to Rise and Shine Rwanda weekly review show where we take you back through the best of the week here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. It's just past 7 o'clock in the morning and my name is Ivan Magwene.
And I'm Yvette Shumbusho. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you the review of the week's top stories, analysis, debate, and insights into the stories making headlines here in Rwanda and across the world. The Rise and Shine crew have throughout the week been diligently gathering and preparing everything you need to know about what's happening here in Rwanda and around the world.
Well, it's been a busy week for us here at the Rise and Shine headquarters. One of the most interesting stories that I reported on this week was the marking of the International Education Day, and we looked at the general picture of the reading culture in Rwanda. Let's take a look back. And now, as the world marks the International Education Day, we look at the general picture of the reading culture in Rwanda. Let's take a look.
It has been 3 years ever since the Rwanda Library Services was opened in a bid to improve the reading culture in Rwanda. The government has entered several partnerships with various organizations in the interest of promoting reading and innovation. According to the Ministry of Education, the partnerships are in line with the government's vision of creating a knowledge-based economy using technology as the driving force. Lack of reading culture among Rwandans has impacted growth of local publishing industry, even as the government comes up with the programs to boost the sector. With all policies and initiatives implemented by the government and stakeholders, we remain to see if Rwandans can embrace the culture of reading. Ivan Magwene, reporting for Rise and Shine Rwanda.
Chinese philosopher Confucius once said, no matter how busy you may think you are, you must find time for reading or else surrender to self-chosen ignorance. Although this was mentioned centuries ago, it is a clear reflection of what is happening in the country today, despite continuous efforts by the government and other stakeholders. Even with modern platforms such as digital libraries in place, experts believe that the journey of promoting a modeling culture in Rwanda is still far from the finish line. Joining me today is Murangira Nwai Bruce from iDebate Rwanda to discuss furthermore on this issue. Welcome to this show.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to say you're looking so sharp today.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
You're looking sharp yourself.
Thank you so much.
Right.
So, well, a very simple question that I would start with. So far, how many books have you read?
I could really quite count.
Okay.
There are very many, very, very many. But some of those I could say are The Date by Dambisa Moyo,
Okay.
The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson,
Okay.
and also like novels, French novels, mostly by Alexandre Dumas, and also Racine.
Okay, quite frankly speaking, that I know many people like to mention I've read Think Big or Gifted Hands, but it's quite a surprise that you never mentioned those kind of books.
I've read those too.
All right, no problem. Okay, we'll get into the questions furthermore. I want to know, tell us, why do you think that most Rwandans don't have that culture of reading so far?
So allow me to put it into main reasons. First of all, we didn't grow with it. I mean, like in most Western countries, kids of 2 years of age, 3 years of age, their parents read stories to them when going to sleep. So the kids grow up with a love of storytelling. But here in Rwanda, a kid doesn't even find a newspaper at home to read. And even at school, the culture isn't promoted at all. So let's say we're learning the language, French language or English language.
Yes.
But you studied the French language and you're not given even an assignment to go and read one book of French and come back to the class and say what you read.
So you think it's all like an issue that starts from childhood? The setting in your childhood really affects your
Yeah,
nature of
really,
reading?
the environment, the whole environment, whether at home, whether at school, whether in the society, isn't really conducive to us growing to love the spirit of reading. And another point is there is really no incentive. What do I mean by this? I mean that the culture of reading goes hand in hand with the culture of writing, and there is really no material. There is no material. So when you don't find the material to read, you don't read at all. And I think this is caused by three main reasons. The first reason being that there is no really new material. There is no creativity. Like the most literary works in Rwanda are geared towards our history, specifically the genocide history. It isn't a bad thing. It's a very good thing to let the world know what happened and why it happened. But it's been 20 years, and in 20 years, so much more has happened. And I think instead of continuing to show the image of genocide, we should be talking about what Rwanda has achieved so far, and even delve into other things, right? From romance, right? Action thrillers, right? Anything else, but have material. Secondly, people who are creative shy away from writing. I mean, seriously, we have amazing poets in Rwanda. We have amazing poets. We have. I like to read a lot, and many Rwandans are now using blogs, and the material in there is awesome. But no one is taking it up on him to compile his works, to go to a publishing house and say,
maybe do you think the same question I wanted to come exactly to that same issue, because of the background? Maybe do you think also publishing houses out there don't really give a lot of choice or matter to this kind of issue?
Yeah, seriously.
So
like in Rwanda, we don't even have more than 7 publishing houses, and most of those are houses that publish scholarly material to use in classes, to use in schools. And you can't go there with a novel, with the script of a novel there. No, you have to have had the research, to have prepared a book that will be used in class. And that's also a problem. We have so few publishing houses that don't even that aren't even conducive to us nurturing our creative spirit as writers.
So my question now goes to, at this moment, Rwanda is targeting to be a knowledge-based economy. And looking at the way things are, if you compare Rwanda to other countries, like in Uganda, or if you go out to Kenya, you find that people have had a broader way of the reading culture. Do you think maybe our history also has determined the reading culture in Rwanda? Because I'm talking about these countries that had a colonial history by the British, and this country had the colonial history by the Belgium. Do you think in any way or the other history has determined the reading fate of Rwandans?
Yeah, seriously, yeah. As in most countries that were colonized by the British Empire, they do have a really good culture of reading, which is quite in contrast with countries that were colonized by the Belgian, not the French. Because even when you go to Western countries that were colonized by the French, like Guinea, Senegal, they have really amazing writers. But Burundi, Rwanda, and DR Congo, it's a totally different history. So I think, the history has had a part in it, but also we let the history define for us what we should be doing.
Bruce, let me put you on the spot right now. At this moment, this is the 21st century, and there's no one to give the excuses. Who do you think we should blame this problem? The government, the parents, or the students?
I think mostly we can't blame the parents when they grow up with that mindset. It's really a hard thing to change the mindset of someone who was already a grown-up person who has created a comfort zone, a bubble in which he lives. So mainly, I think who is to blame is the education system. I mean, right now things are being changed. Very great steps have been taken, like the introduction of the Kigali Public Library and all. But I think the main reason for Rwandans not having a good culture of reading, especially the youth, is that the education system didn't allow them to be good readers.
All right, thank you so much for coming out to the show. I'm
You're
pretty sure this debate can move on.
It can.
And of course, as you said, the education system, a lot of debate has been going on. We can have more discussion on that. Thank you for making out your time to come to the show. We hope
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, you've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
It's unbelievable, but what you see is what you pay.
The reading culture in Rwanda. How is it? What are we doing? How are we doing?
Well, something that actually made me do a story about this issue was, of course, we're quite not doing that well, but you know, it's been a little bit better over time. You know, 3 years back with the initiation of the Rwanda Public Library Services, and a lot of initiatives have been taken in order to improve the reading culture. But still, it doesn't leave the question that we're still so low in terms of our reading.
Yeah, we're still like.
I mean, if you compare Rwanda to countries like Uganda and Kenya,
Yes.
I mean, if you see how, for example, if you wake up in the morning and you look at how people are reading, for example, newspapers, you find like if you're in Kampala or you're in Nairobi, if people are in a bus, you find somebody with the newspapers. That shows you that people are so open to reading, and the reading culture is so nice. And also that goes for our students here. Most of our students kind of stick to the books in class, but they don't go abroad out into reading books that are in different libraries, which again leaves the question, who is to blame for this issue?
Exactly.
So in one of the debates I had with one of the guests that I had, who was Bruce here, he was like, maybe we should also look at the education system. Does in anyhow favor the reading culture here? So, well, we had a very big analysis on that, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of progress has been done. And the challenge, of course, is to every person who's supposed to be participating in this. That goes with the parent. A reading culture is something that is supposed to be given to you when you're still growing up.
Yes.
We've seen other parents, they start reading stories to you when you're still young. I mean, as you grow up, you just fall in love with reading. So even it goes with the teachers. And then at the end of the day, it all comes to the government, the policy makers. What are kind of policies that are being made in order to make sure that our people can read books and go to libraries and take advantage of that.
So you're not saying that's just individual. It's not dependent on the individual, but on the parents, on the government, on the teachers.
Of course.
So if we all came together, then the reading culture would be much better.
Of course.
And more advanced.
All right.
All right.
Now, another story that really caught our attention this week was the game that pulled the world's attention to the Rwanda, the 7th edition in Rwanda, that it comes to an end this Sunday. Let's take a look back. Now, it is the game that has pulled the world attention to the Rwanda 7th edition. Started off yesterday in Kigali at the Mahoro National Stadium. The competition has attracted teams from across the African continent, the USA, Australia, and Europe. Huge numbers of fans came out to support their team as the official opening kicked off yesterday. We remain to see Rwanda's performance as the defending champion. The tournament runs from the 15th to the 22nd of November. And of course, joining us is our sports correspondent, Moses Birikunzira, to give us a little bit of spotlight for the Tour du Rwanda. Now, Moses, I would like to first of all, I've been watching clearly with the days, with the website has been calculating with the numbers, 3 days to go, 4 days to go. Everyone has been waiting for the Tour du Rwanda. I'm pretty sure now it's an event that has grown across even Africa. Of course, joining us is Moses Birikunzira, our sports correspondent, to give us a little bit of spotlight on this competition. Now, Moses, first of all, I'd like to say that I've been very closely watching how the tournament has been in terms of preparations. But at this point, I want you to give a clear view of what's happening at the moment with the whole competition to our viewers at home.
Well, it started with the scandals. We all know what happened when the Team Rwanda players decided to get out of the camp because they were talking that they wanted money for insurance. And they were given 48 hours ultimatum to either come back or Ferwasi could take action. But, I like the way Ferwasi is organized, and the president, the technical director, Jack Boyd, and of course the national team coach, that they really managed to bring all the guys back, and the spirit is very good now. In the press conference, the president says that this time is the time when this team is very strong than it was last year. Because last year we won it, but this time around we are even stronger, because the fact that all the riders have new bikes. These bikes are very fantastic.
By the way, before you go on from there, I don't know how much these bikes contain, but I'm pretty sure these bikes are of top quality, and our players have no excuses this time.
Not at all, because these bikes are the ones that are being used in Tour de France,
yes,
and La Vuelta in Italy. No, these are the highest quality bikes that you can find in the market, and they were donated by His Excellency President of Republic, Paul Kagame. Thank you so much, Mr. President. And this has given the guys the confidence that this time around they have even to push it even harder. So the guys like Hadi Janvier, who won the gold medal in Congo Brazzaville, Valens Ndaisenga, the current champion, and of course Jean Bosco Nsenjimana. This guy made me proud yesterday.
Of course, that's where I was gonna come to. With such a good start for Team Rwanda, what are we expecting? Because at the end of the day, I saw Nsengimana take up break up the record and taking the trophy home for the prolonged ride. So what does that mean for Team Rwanda as a team that is starting off the journey now?
It means a lot, because it's the same way they started last year. Last year, Hadi Janvier decided, he took the prologue and he broke a record of 4 minutes 4 seconds, and that beginning was the push for them to win, actually to be eventual winners of the Tour du Rwanda. Because, you know, when it's your countrymen who got the yellow jersey on the very first day, and then it means like all other people who are now pushing, because it's a teamwork, it's not individual. It doesn't mean that, say, Jean Bosco is going to be winning the Tour du Rwanda, because there are some places where you need guys who climb, the guys who are riding uphill, downhill. No, every team Rwanda member has his own specialities. But for the prologue, this guy really broke a record of 3 minutes 52 seconds. Yes. And all guys who are coming in Rwanda, all the riders from USA, Germany, all these teams are very recognized in the world. And our very own young boy has made it. And that's what makes all the Rwandans proud. And it made all the people who were doubting that the spirit is down, that it's not even down, but that made, because you errors in something to motivate you.
Yes.
Not in a bad way, but somehow. But what they did is good, and I'm looking today, because it's going on again today, that they are going from Nyagatare to Rwamagana. It's about 135 kilometers. Yes. And I'm seeing that we can also take it. We can also take it this state also.
Now that's quite a flat land where they're going to be racing.
It is a flat land. So this one, you see a guy like Hadi Janvier going to push for this one. Because when it's flat, it's Hadi Janvier, everybody's looking after him. What they do, all others, Valencia is saying, and all others, all the other riders, what they do is like they protect him. So these other challengers don't actually accumulate him, especially on the finishing lines. Yes. So they just protect him, and then he goes faster. And then because his specialty is somewhere flat, and when it goes to somewhere uphill, now someone else steps up. When it's the areas know who is going to take responsibility of a certain stage.
Of course. Now coming up to our conclusion, I want you to, of course, we as the defending champions, Valence with the title right now. Do you think at any chance we have again Valence taking it, or somebody else taking it from Team Rwanda, either from the Akagera team or the Kalisimbi or the Mahagura team taking it home?
Of course, we are going to take. This time we are even more prepared than it was last year, because last year some of the guys like Jean Bosco in particular was not in a Tour du Rwanda last year. So this time now he's in, and they've played a lot of tournaments. We won the gold in Congo Brazzaville, All Africa. That's a big step up. And now Hadi Janvier is actually among the top 10 riders in Africa. That's a big step. And the fact that now this guy who is playing for Emton Kobeka is now coming up to step up to be a coach also. So now it's another boost, because he's bringing his experience from M10 Kobeka to come and help this guy. So I'm seeing Rwanda to defend it. Now they have more material, they are even more equipped, and the technique, the preparation is even better than it was last year. I see Rwanda to win this title once more again.
All right. There you had it from the man himself, Moses Virikunzira. All we can say, we wish the best to our boys in the riding world. And let's get on to business with Vet Shumbusho.
It's unbelievable, but what you see is what you pay.
Tour de Rwanda. How are we doing? Because I know for sure that when we began this week, Rwanda was doing really, really well, and they were one of the first, if not the first, right?
It was the first.
It was the first. I'm not sure exactly who, but how are we doing now? Where have we reached? Where are we going?
Interestingly enough, Rwanda is doing a very good job at Tour de Rwanda. Shout out to the boys out there that are doing a good job. As presently we're speaking right now, they're on to their next tour they're supposed to do Nyanza, Musanze Nyanza, and then they will do Rubavu Kigali. Okay. But at the point, as you already know, yesterday, 4 of Rwandans made it to Musanze as the best, from number 1 to the 4th position. I mean, that's quite impressive. So
yes.
These boys are making us proud, of course. Yes.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to see who wins eventually at the end.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're watching this review edition of Rise and Shine Rwanda. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, the review. Now, there were some big business stories in the news this week.
Global Entrepreneurship Week that was held at La Palisse Hotel this week was the Rwanda's 5th annual general entrepreneurship event. Let's take a look back. Global Entrepreneurship Week, a week-long event attracting millions of people through thousands of events globally to inspire, connect, and engage aspiring and current entrepreneurs, sparking the ongoing entrepreneurship conversation between the public and private sector, all in an effort to foster job creation and expand human welfare. This year, Idea for Africa, an organization that inspires and equips young youth people to create social and economic value through entrepreneurship, will be hosting this year's 5th annual Global Entrepreneurship Week event. And in studio with us is Isabel Busa and Faith Mbabazi. Welcome to studio.
Thank you.
So good to have you.
Thank you. We're honored to be on the show.
That is great. So I've said a lot about the Global Entrepreneurship Entrepreneurship Week. Sorry about that. But I need to know, what are the activities that we should be expecting this week?
So this week we have a lineup of amazing activities. Idea for Africa has been hosting an entrepreneurship essay competition for the past month. And we will be announcing the winners during the week. The top 3 winners will get prizes. Other events that we have scheduled are Spark is doing. Do you know Spark?
No, actually, I'm actually not very familiar with it.
Spark is a nonprofit that does work. It's a Dutch organization, and they're having a conference in partnership with African Innovation Prize, and it's really to bring together education leaders, talk about how can we create the next generation of entrepreneurs through our education systems. So that's really one of the big events that are happening this week. Another huge event is Rwanda Digital Opportunity Trust.
And that's why she's here with us.
Faith will explain some more about. So I won't give too much away. But Bridge to Rwanda is doing an event targeted to the youth. K-Lab is doing an event targeted to youth. Kepler is doing something for their students. So we have a lot of different activities geared to the youth.
Yes.
Let me see if I missed anything. I think that's, if you want to know more, you can always go online on our website to find out more information. But that's just a general overview.
I keep hearing you talk about the youth and empowerment of the youth, and I know definitely Digital Opportunity Trust is about empowering the youth. But the global entrepreneurship, is it just for the youth, or are we looking at other people being involved?
No, we're actually looking at entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Aspiring entrepreneurs, but also current entrepreneurs. We're looking at the public sector. We're looking at how local government can work to support private sector development. In fact, on Wednesday, we're doing a happy hour and panel on specifically that. How can local government work to support entrepreneurs?
Oh, okay.
So it's really for everyone. Entrepreneurship is not only for the businessmen.
Yes.
So women should be involved. young people should be involved as young as secondary school.
Oh, wow.
So we're targeting everyone.
Okay, great. And so I know there's a competition from the Digital Opportunity Trust. Maybe you can tell us just a little bit more about that.
Well, Digital Opportunity Trust is, first of all, just to give a hint about who we are and what we do in Rwanda. We are an international NGO. We're based in Canada, Ottawa, but we're spread across Africa, the Americas, Latin America, and the Middle East. So what Rwanda does, just like all the other networks of Digital Opportunity Trust, is we do youth empowerment. How we can help young people to use technology to be able to transform their own lives. And of course we look at the business part of it because we believe in young people being able to create their own jobs, not depending on government to give us jobs. So tackling both the tech part of the side and the entrepreneurship part of the side, we have a number of programs, but as you said, the business plan competition is one of the so many programs that Digital Opportunity Trust Rwanda is doing at this time. So it's a very exciting program. Over the last couple of months, we've been encouraging young people, upcoming young business people who are aged between 16 and 24, that's quite a young age,
Yes.
who have businesses, however small your business is, come and join Digital Opportunity Trust's program. We take them through a very intensive 2 weeks, 3 hours per day boot camp, meaning they go through the business model campus, the kinds of business skills that they need to be able to advance their businesses, and they'll move out of this training with a business plan, a real business plan that any financial institution would buy into. So what has been happening over the couple of 2 or 3 months ago is within 15 districts across the country, these young people brought in their business plans. They were evaluated, and we took out the best 3 businesses. And the best 3 businesses for first, the first was awarded 700,000 Rwanda francs, second 500,000 Rwanda francs, and third 300,000 Rwandan francs. And the next 3 runners-up got smartphones. Of course, we're trying to bridge the gap between the tech part of the side and the business part of the side. So for the first 2 winners, thanks to our sponsors who probably I'll mention towards the end of the program, we managed to select the best 2 from every district, making them 30, give them a trip to Kigali, and they will come into another big competition which will bring together the first 2 from every district. So that's the most interesting part that we're looking at, and that's going to be happening during the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And just like my colleague mentioned a while ago, we are very happy and we're very honored that DOTS Business Plan competition has been earmarked as the flagship of the Global Entrepreneurship Week. So it's like the major event. So there are lots of cool prizes that are awaiting the young people who are going to be, the best 3 young people who are going to come out of the competition. And it's happening on the 19th of November. That's just 2 days, a few days from. Yeah. So what's going to be happening is we're going to be having a team of judges from like the very big institutions, financial institutions, RDB, the National Youth Council, and they're going to come together to evaluate the 30 business plans. Shortly before that, they'll have a boot camp, and DOTS senior business coaches will be looking at every business plan. They'll be training them on how to pitch. They'll be training them on how to, present their showcase businesses, and it's going to be a very interesting event. So thanks to so many sponsors who include Rwanda Development Board, My ICT is giving really cool prizes. The first overall will get 2.5 million Rwandan francs. That's really huge money.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of money. So it's really intense. The competition is really intense. And then second, we'll get 2 million. And third, thanks to the National Youth Council, we'll get 1.5 million. We have other sponsors who are going to be awarding the next runners-up, 3 runners-up. And they're going to be receiving, thanks to Azam Media Group, they're giving us subscription, they're giving us kits, they're giving us lots of things that are going to, impress the young people. So we have so many sponsors on board, but we are really, really impressed that in Rwanda we have young people, very young at that age, who are willing to do very successful businesses.
Yes.
And we're trying to see what can we do to help these young people really access finance, because it's a major problem that we're having
course.
at this time. Banks, microfinance institutions are kind of reluctant
Of course.
to give money to these young people because they actually think this is a risky group. They're afraid I'll give you my money and probably you'll go dancing, or you
won't use it.
You won't use the money for
In the business, yes.
yeah. So we're trying to show the banks that, hey, this is a bankable, business. Please come on board. So we're trying to invite everybody, whoever is listening or watching Rise and Shine, on the 19th of November at La Palisse Nyandungu. Would like all the business people to come in. Would like people to offer to become coaches and mentors of these young people, because their businesses really make sense.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
have the people already, has the competition began? Because you told me about the boot camp and the 2 weeks, 3-hour.
So actually the
camp.
boot camp begins today, Monday, 16th.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be a 2.5 days boot camp.
Oh.
So they'll be kind of redoing the business model canvas, looking at their business plans. We'll have study tours across, depending on what kind of business the participants will be having. If it's agribusiness, if it's technology. So we'll take them out there and they will see what's happening in Kigali, because most of them are from the rural areas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who can other people join, or is it just the ones that went through the 2-week boot camp?
Unfortunately, no. It's only those who participated in the
the
earlier
other-
district competition. So meaning we're
can
taking
join.
the best number 2, the one who got the 700,000 Rwanda
And the
francs,
one
and the
who
one
got
who got the 500. Yeah. So it's an addition to the awards they already had. Yeah,
Okay.
quite intense.
But other people
we
can
wish
come
that-
and watch and
Oh
learn.
yes, everybody's welcome to La Palisse Nyandungu on the 19th at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
It's going to be a really hot contest. Please come.
Definitely.
Hope Rise and Shine will be there.
I hope I will. But maybe you can tell us where we can contact you and the information and when it will begin, when it will end.
So, Global Entrepreneurship Week is starting today.
Yes.
So there are already some, events lined up today. Throughout the whole week, you can find out more information on our website, www.gewrwanda.com. You can also find us on Twitter at GEWRwanda.
Okay.
Our official hashtag is GEWR number 15. Okay. So
Okay.
Should I repeat that?
Yes. GEWR
15. Good.
Okay.
You got it,
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Just one thing that I wanted to add is,
Yes.
I definitely want to take this opportunity to thank our generous sponsors. If you're listening, Primus has been a huge help
Really.
in our visual campaign. We have Radio Broadcasting Agency, RBA, as well as Radio Flash and Radio 10 that have really helped us with our media. And I also want to thank SECAM, which is a printing company, family business owned, that has really been helpful with some of our promotional materials.
Okay.
So yeah.
So thank you to them.
Thank you. Thank you to them. And we look forward to seeing you at some of our activities.
Yes.
I hope you'll be
And
there.
I will really make it
Yeah.
a point to come.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming and telling us about the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I hear it's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Very.
And I hear also you're expecting at least 20,000 people?
So we are trying to reach 20,000 people, but we expect to reach even over because some of our partners, we have about 25 partners, and one of them is the Anglican Diocese Church, and it's outside of Kigali. So
Okay.
they are doing a village and entrepreneurship, village saving and entrepreneurship promotion awareness campaign, and they expect to reach over 50,000 people.
Oh.
So that's huge, and it's great to have that as part of Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming and sharing with
Thank
us
you
and
for
all the
having us.
best.
Yeah.
All right. You're up to date with today's business headline. Sports news coming in just a minute with Moses Virikonzira.
You're watching Rise and Shine weekly review show onto Sports Now. Team du Rwanda's Bintunimana Emile, who plays for Muhabura, won the stage 2 after clocking 3 minutes 2 seconds, and Sengimana Jean Bosco remained on top of general classification after clocking 5 hours 56 minutes and 48 seconds. Let's take a look back. Of course, again, our Team Rwanda boys are showing us that they can do this. So, quite a win. I didn't expect that to come from Emile. I mean, looking at all the other guys, how more experienced they are, what do you think? Is this showing you that everyone on the team has potential to make it into the Rwanda?
Yeah, this 2D Rwanda, as we were talking about yesterday, this 2D Rwanda is specially made for these young guys of Rwanda because, you know, Rwandans, they are much ready for this 2D Rwanda than they've ever been in recent years because they played a lot of tournaments.
I mean, I've gotten a lot of surprises because at least if you look at the list of Team Muhabura, Team Kalisimbi, there's a lot of people who have not been on the map are getting up and taking over the Valences and everyone that people knew. Abraham Rumuliza has not yet shined, but all these young guys are taking up. I don't know. It's full of surprises.
Yeah, one way or another, it's not a surprise because the way these guys are playing, the way Jonathan Boyd, the coach of the team, the cycling team, the way he's telling them, it's a more of tactical than individual playing because it's a team game. So they decided who they are going to help for a certain stage. You see, the first prologue, it was an individual prologue, and Jean Bosco won it. Yesterday, the day on Monday they played again, and the Bintunimana was in the first 3 who finished. And again, this time around, he showed everybody that when the team supports him, when it's a climbing, because it's more of hills, and there for him, he's more than ready to take the stage, and he showed it. You know, and the fact that the yellow jersey stills with the Rwandans. You know, Jean Bosco is still the leader overall with 5 hours and 56 seconds, and and me 5 hours 56 minutes and 48 seconds. So, you know, it shows that Rwandans are very much ready this time around to win this Tour in Rwanda.
Yes. So as we go on, of course, now I want you to elaborate to us. So now they'll be moving on to Rubavu, and then also they'll be moving, another set will be coming back from Rubavu, from Kigali to Kigali. Those are quite kilometers to cover before this set ends. Well, at this moment, why is it that I'm not seeing Valence come up in the shining? Are we waiting for him to go to Rubavu? Maybe he's more used to the mountains there, or something else?
As I said, Valence is a targeted man, you know, because he is the defending champion. And, you know, a targeted person, you know, the areas know where is he, how can we cover him up.
Okay.
And as I said, it's a more of tactical. You know, when these guys are coming and they expect Valence to win, but the technical team have decided that we might put Valence there to cover all the boys. Someone come from behind to win instead of him winning. Because at the end of the day, it's an individual. It's a teamwork. It's not individual. It could be good for Valence to win, but the tactical approach of this tour is for someone else who is not Valence or Hadjanvier, of whom everybody knows, can come from behind and win. That's why we saw Jean Bosco. That's why we saw Emile coming up, and we expect more to come. Even these guys can win 1 stage or 2 or 3, but the overall winner still becomes someone else.
Of course. And now, of course, I can't finish this show without talking about, the list is already out. We've seen the BBC Player of the Year, so I can't wait to see who do you think will take this year? Do you think Yaya will take it this time, or you think Andrew or anyone else Aubameyang has the chance also to take it this time home?
This time around, I fancy Aubameyang to take it. Why? Aubameyang, the beginning of this Bundesliga has been terrific.
How many goals so far?
So far, he has more than, he has more than 20 goals so far. You know, he showed that since the beginning of October, he scored actually more than 8 games in a row, scoring on daily basis. You know, in the Bundesliga, him and Robert Lewandowski, they've been the prolific strikers everyone can imagine. And of course, Yaya Toure, you know, it's a calendar year. It's not just the beginning of a certain season. Yaya Toure won the African Cup of Nations in February, beating Ghana in final. Ayudede was beaten. And again, Ayudede, coming from France to England, you've seen the first game of the league in England when Swansea beat Chelsea. You saw the goal he scored, and he was the player of the month of October after scoring 5 goals in that month. And Yaya Toure, Andre Ayew, is standing a chance, but not forgetting Yasim Blahini, who is the defending champion. He won it last year. And in Porto, when the way he's playing in Champions League, that guy, he's only 25 years. And you can't really imagine the way he's playing. He's really awesome to watch. And again, coming up to our man, Sadio Mane of Southampton. That guy is terrific. He scored a hat-trick in 176 seconds. How many minutes are those? I mean, about 2 minutes and some seconds. The fastest hat-trick in history of the world. And Yaya Toure, again, he's the dynamic in the Manchester City midfield, and he's very good. He gives good passes. You can see the way. The reason why Man City is joined top with Arsenal in Premier League at the moment is because of Yaya Toure coming up. Last season he was accused because of match fitness and stuff. But this time around, he's more fit and more ready to challenge these guys. But Aubameyang and Sadio Mane, they're up for grabs.
So those are the two contestants.
Those are the guys I fancy to win this BBC. Right. And you can vote yourself also, so everybody is ready to vote.
All right, thank you so much. There you had it from the world of sports. We'll be right back after the break.
It's unbelievable, but what you see is what you pay.
Now, every single week I have a favorite story, but this week, this one is definitely my favorite. So my favorite story, in lifestyle was the famous band Beauty for Ashes, which appeared and performed on Kenya's popular show, The Churchill Show. Take a look.
Welcome to Lifestyle. I am Sherry Uwase. Let's take a look at the world of the gospel industry in Rwanda. The famous band Beauty for Ashes had a tour in Kenya which was concluded by a performance and appearance at Kenya's popular show, The Churchill Show. Take a look.
Of the sun, you found me broken, we can go. You gave me life beyond my dream, and filled my heart with sounds and hymns. And now I stand the Son of God, a new creation washed in blood. No matter how life can get hard, it never leaves me when I'm sad. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate beautiful ashes. You have beautiful ashes. You have an amazing story. Do you want to share with us, Oliver, how you started, especially after the aftermath of what happened in Rwanda?
Many of you know what happened in Rwanda 21 years ago. The genocide came and devastated everyone. And myself, I'm a genocide survivor. I was only 9 years old by then. And after the genocide, I was really bitter. I was angry, and all I needed to do was I was seeking revenge. You know, people who killed my family, people who killed my parents, and I just happened to meet this man called Jesus. I gave him my life, and then in exchange, he gave me this spirit of forgiveness, and I started writing songs. When I started writing songs, quickly they became a therapy for me. And after those songs becoming, I was totally healed. And then after being healed, I felt like God calling me to stay. Same songs that you've been healed through, I'm going to use them to heal many people in the nations. And that's what he's doing.
Nuambere amaya mahoro nuambere. Here we go. Thank you. Sing it.
So Beauty for Ashes.
Yes.
A gospel group.
A gospel band.
Oh.
A band. It's made up of a few guys. I think there are 3 or 4, and one lady.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she is from Korea or
Oh.
Philippines. I'm not so sure. So
Are they Rwandans?
yeah, they are Rwandans. The rest
Oh,
of
but
them
they
are
are
Rwandans.
Rwandans.
Yes, yes, and they're
Okay.
very good. I think they come from CLA, Christian Life Assemblies.
I know that church.
You know that because you
I
go
go
there.
there.
Shout out. Yeah, so they come from that church and they're very good. They've actually been coming up. So they've been in Kenya for the past, I think, from the beginning of this last month.
Okay.
Yeah, last month they've been there, and they've been. I think they've been doing some church tours and even school tours. So they were actually supposed to come already, but then Churchill. I don't know if you know the Churchill
Yes, I know
show.
Churchill.
Very
Yes,
very
in
big
Kenya,
show in Kenya.
Citizen.
So they asked them if they could be on the show, if they could host them on the show. So they had to stay back a bit because it's a big deal.
It's a very big deal.
It's
I
a
mean,
very big
Churchill
deal.
is watched by
Yeah.
nearly the 44 million
Yeah, I
Kenyans
know, right?
in Kenya.
Yes, and even out of Kenya because
Yes, because
it
now we have
promotes
Citizen.
comedy and all that. So it's a big show. So they went for that, and let me just say it was amazing. As you've seen in the VT, it was amazing.
Definitely.
And you know,
and they're really good too.
they're very good. They're very good. And Kavutse, who is the founder of the band, Olivier, he shared his story of how he started doing gospel music and his journey and how it was a therapy for him after what happened to him, I think, after the genocide and all that, because he's a survivor. So he shared this story, and he said this music was sort of like a therapy to him, and it's like, why don't I just share it with the rest of the world? So it's a very good thing, and let me just say they're really good. If you haven't attended their concerts, you need to go. You need to catch the next concert.
What do you think this means for the gospel industry?
Actually, this almost brings us to what we're going to talk about in our hot topic. But let me just say, it is really coming up. when you try to compare it to what's happening in Kenya, definitely they're far much ahead. But as Rwandans and as the gospel industry, I think the future is really bright.
Very.
Very bright.
Alrighty, thank you.
So, thank you, and we'll be right back after the break.
Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website, www.riseandshinerwanda.com. Well, that is all the time we have for you today, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Do let us know if you have any ideas for programs. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Yvette Shibusho.
And me, Ivan Magwene. We'll be here same time, same place on Monday. Do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day and even a better weekend. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.